Okay, this tutorial is going to be a little bit more complex. This is starting with the default Cup 12 SS spoiler scene as we presented it to you with when the mod was delivered. And what we're going to go over is basically how to lay out a scene from start to finish. Give yourself 2 cars. I'm not going to do, sorry about that, how to do, let's say, all 4, but I'm going to show you how to do 1, and from there you should be able to do the rest. So we're going to start with the Impala. And in the previous tutorial I showed you how you map your materials. Okay, so we want to go ahead. I don't want to look at a plain car while I'm doing this, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly select a different car. And all file formats. And I'm going to pick, just for the hell of it, this car, because I like it. Okay, so there's our car. And we're done with that for now. You notice each piece is independent right now. Alright, and you have a Lightroom orb in there and some other things. So first off, currently you can select Manage Layers if you're in 3ds Max 12, and you can hide this object. Okay? Alright, now to get 2 of them, you would group them all together, and then you would duplicate, rename, and reposition. So we're going to walk through that. First things first, we're going to get 2 objects, or we can go ahead and position the tires in this one however we want. That's, there really is no right or wrong way to do this. It's simply up to you what order you want to do things. If you want to fine tune the first car and then go on to the second, or vice versa. So let's say I want to rotate the wheel to turn in, and then we're going to move it. Okay, and we're going to do a quick preview. Actually, check my render setup, see how big this thing's going to be. I want to make it 800 by 600, and I think that's all I really want to mess with right now. And coast, that'll work. Hit Shift Q, let it render. It's going to go through very fast. Pretty much what I'm focused on right now is where the wheel's being placed, how that looks. Okay, so we see the wheel looks pretty good like it is, but let's say we want to take away some of the fender clearance. So we're going to take the car body and all of its parts. You hold control while you click these. You have to make sure you get everything. If you don't, you're going to find yourself, when you move them, you'll notice you missed things. See? So you have to make sure you select all those things. You just move them down again. Did I get everything that time? I did, other than the window net, which I don't care for. So I'm just going to delete it from the scene altogether. Alright, and again, make sure I have it all except for the wheels. There it all is. So now it's kind of slammed. Alright, then we can just reselect the wheel real quick. Give it a little bit further rotation, because to me it feels like it's clipping in to the paint some. So pull it forward a notch or 2. Re-render, just to verify, see what our car looks like here. And it goes faster when I don't have 2 things trying to consume the same resources. With the video tutorial running, it's trying to eat up the video resources along with 3ds Max, and most programs do not like to share. Okay, so let's assume that I like that way. I think it looks good. We're going to leave it alone. Okay, I personally like a black background. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the selection. Now that white orb is gone. And if you went to unhide by name, You can go back in there and turn it back on if you wanted to. And that's called Scene. You can hide it. It's in there. That's that white orb. You click it, hide, bam, it's gone. And so we're far enough out you can see where our camera's looking. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to turn on, I want to turn on the mirror floor, which is where? Okay, so now the floor is mirrored. You see the mirror floor right there. And you roll in and out with your mouse. You use the cube here to rotate based on the axis around the camera currently, what you're looking at. If you select the car, it should rotate us around the car now. 3ds Max is all about perspectives. While the wheel may look screwed up here, your perception is different. So we like I said, we like the way that looked. Alright, so that's Chevy 1. We're going to select all our components, all our parts. Going to rotate around the car, make sure we get all the wheels. Okay, now an important thing to do real quick. Make sure you have everything. See, I missed the guts of the car. That's pretty important. And we're going to figure out why we missed the guts of the car in a second. No big deal. Okay, now we should have everything. Car moves up and down as one. Alright, so there's our car. Now, we want to make a copy of it so we can position another one somewhere else. So you're going to go to Group, and you're going to group all those parts together. They don't have to stay that way, but for now, that's what we're going to be. Chevy SS1. Alright, now, right-click on it, clone. Rename it Chevy SS2. Okay, now you have 2 cars. You don't even see the second one there, but it's there. You simply hit one of your 3 axes. I recommend forward or back. And you move the clone off of the primary. When you made this clone, it automatically tied it in the associations here to your properties manager. Pretty nifty. Okay, so now we got 2 of them side by side. And we're going to go back to our camera for a minute and see what we've got. Okay, that's not how I want that, but lets me know. So I'm going to move this car over. The camera is shooting right in this general area, so we're going to test it. Now we're going to rotate the other one. No, 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 no. You position the cars with the arrows, simply like that. Easy enough to do. If you want the back view, there you go. Rotate it around, you get your back view. Now, ungroup that for a minute. I want to turn that wheel so that it looks like it belongs with the rest of them. But it's also important to see how the wheel's not in the wheel well, to position it where it belongs. Go to camera, back to your camera view. Okay. Now let's see what it's rendering for me. And we are way too far in on camera view 1 based on the way this is. So we can either create a new camera view or we can reposition the current camera. It's up to you. But I know we need to basically zoom our shot out. perspective. Okay. So we're going to go ahead real quickly here first. Regroup our car so we can move anything we need to. And just like before, make sure we didn't miss anything. And look at that. Didn't we miss the windows? Yep. Double check. Make sure we got it all. Okay. Regroup. Remake that as Chevy SS2. Okay. So, real quick, we're going to put ourselves back at the perspective we had before. Drop down camera, camera 1. Okay. That's not actually what I want to keep. Go back to perspective. Now we have our camera. You can move the camera in and out, kind of change how it looks at things. Give yourself an idea of what it's actually looking at. The further back you move it, side to side, you change the viewing box. So if we go to camera 1 real quick, now that's what we see. Okay, we can work with that. So we reselect our car, move it in within the confines of the camera view, hit render, and let's see what we come up with. What I'm waiting on is to see if the car exceeds the camera viewing area or if it stays where I want it. And the back end of our car isn't cut off by the viewing frame. I might move it in a little bit and forward since I have room to work with, or I can reposition the camera. That's entirely up to you, the viewer. I think I'm going to move it forward a little bit. Since I have room. And I'm going to rotate the rear car some, because I like to do that. And I might even move it out away from me a little bit and over some. Maybe some viewing angles. Okay. Now I'm also okay. So I personally don't like white. I want the car background to be black. To get that, you're going to hit 8. 8's going to bring up your environmental effects, ambient lighting, so forth. Right now it's set to use a map. If you turn that map off, now your background color is going to be set by here. Simply roll it up to black, hit OK, you're done. Now we should have a black background, and if we don't, then we can go in there and change it, but we do. Now all you're getting is the car. None of the fancy white background or color or anything else you want it to be. You just get the reflection and the car. Once you have it the way you think you want it, you're done. After you finish the first one, you're going to go ahead and save. You don't want to overwrite your file. You want to create a new one. So we're going to cut 12SS test. Okay, created me a new scene. Now, I can always come back and play with the original. Now I'm just tweaking it, getting it kind of the way I think I'd like to see it. Give me a little bit more rotation. And this beautiful paint, by the way, is provided by Brian Wallace of SRD. This is one of the most badass bases I've ever seen him do. He took what Nick Moss did on a V8 supercar, and he translated it to a Cup 12 model, and it looks phenomenal. And I made it a fictional car for Jeff Gordon in game, and I wish they would run something like this for Pepsi Mac versus those stupid Flames. But anyway, just thanks to Brian, because this is a badass car. And that's all I got. Any questions? You know where to find me. I hope this tutorial has been helpful, and thank you.